Welcome back, everyone. If you are like me, you tend to get sucked into those YouTube videos that you see come across your suggested videos that kind of say, look at me unpacking my bag for the winter, or look at me unpacking my bag for the fall. And I got sucked into one of those videos last night, in which it was the fall ultralight loadout video. And well, while his video got 20,000 views in 24 hours, I'm hoping to get 24 views in 20,000 hours for this one. And one of the reasons why I wanted to turn around and do one on my own is, one, my bag was already packed, kind of almost packed, for a trip that I'm taking this weekend. And two, I just want to make sure that there's some other video out there in the YouTube universe that just shows a gear loadout that can be considered budget and is ultra light. I think if you just start, if you're a new backpacker, if you're a backpacker looking to lighten your load and you start just doing the generic search on YouTube, you find all sorts of videos in which, they're awesome videos with awesome gear. Don't get me wrong, I would love to own that gear, but it's expensive. And so I just wanted to show you that you can go ultralight for not quite ultra cheap, but for pretty cheap. This loadout, when I'm done and I have it on the trail, just the base weight will go about 9 pounds. And probably if you had to buy all of this, it probably cost me somewhere in the vicinity of 450 bucks or somewhere around there over the years as I acquired the gear. The other thing with this loadout, as you see stuff come through, is that not all of it was purchased new. So everything from the backpack, actually maybe just the backpack in this particular gear loadout, was purchased secondhand on YouTube, on eBay. So check your sales, check eBay, check Macari. There are some other gear websites out there for used gear. So as I said, this is going to be about a 9 pound, under $500. What you're looking at right now, this actually has even all of the clothes that I'm going to be wearing are in here. There's some extra gear in here, like I have 2 jackets in here because I'm going to take a look at the weather in a couple days and decide which one I'm going to bring. Maybe I bring both, but probably just one. And so what you're looking at right here, even with all that extra stuff, is 13 pounds. All right, so you can go light and be comfortable. Also, the backpack probably looks pretty stuffed. Like, where am I going to put my food? Just realize I don't use stuff sacks or anything. I don't stuff anything down. I just kind of like put it in there, and as I put things in, I'm kind of squishing it down. So my backpack always looks full. Once I go to put my food in, I can easily squish everything down. There's going to be a lot of space that opens up. I believe that this backpack is a 32 liter, if my memory is correct. So let's start with the outside, and then we'll get to what I'm actually wearing. So I can put this down. This is a Mystery Ranch. The model is called Scree. It is definitely it's a heavy duty sort of backpack. It's just, I love the fact that I just feel like this is bomb proof. It is going to be a little bit heavier than some of the ultralight backpacks that are out there. But I don't know, I would love to do a video someday. I'd love to get some people who have those ultralight backpacks together in one spot and do some kind of like blind test where everybody somebody puts in different amounts of weight into the backpack. And so, for example, you wear something like this and somebody puts in 10 pounds, and then you're put on some very like ultra lightweight backpack that weighs under a pound, and someone starts putting in weight and you have to guess when it equals 10 pounds and just see, what the difference is. Like this backpack here, there's no weight on my shoulders. It all sits on my hips. You have to go much heavier than this for me to feel a difference between, 5 and 10 pounds, 10 and what, I don't even know how much, 20 pounds or something like that. So while it is not an ultra lightweight backpack, it certainly makes everything feel ultralight, which I think is more important. So, Mystery Ranch Scree backpack. If you notice on the outside, I do not have one of those fancy little silver umbrellas. Some summers ago, I decided to do an experiment, and this is my backyard. I'm really lucky to have trails in my backyard, and I decided every once in a while when it would rain, I would go for a hike with a different umbrella from my house of like different widths. And some of those were the same width as some of those, you know, special backpacking silver umbrellas, and some of them were much wider. And what I found after all the tests is that I just simply liked going with the much wider umbrella. It kept me, you know, dried right down to my shorts, and your shorts dry, you know, super fast, so who cares? It kept all the water off of my upper. It does weigh like a pound or a little bit more, so it is going to be heavier. But again, I could put that into this backpack and I'm never going to really notice the difference, and I don't bring a lot of extra stuff anywhere anyway. It is not something I bring on every trip. I do watch the weather. So if it's just a chance of rain, I throw in my raincoat. If it is expected to rain, I'll bring the umbrella. This weekend, it can go either way for Friday. So I had it attached just to remind me not to forget it in case it does rain. I'll probably make the decision once I get to the trailhead in the car. So the Scree, the umbrella. So let's start with my feet. Again, depending on the weather, I've got two choices that I might go with. These are the Deliberate Life sandals. I absolutely love these sandals so far. There is a review of them on my channel before this video. At the time of that review, I had not put a lot of days onto them. At this point, I think it's been almost like 3 months or so since that video, and my thoughts on them have not changed at all. Absolutely love them. Again, Deliberate Life sandals. If it's going to end up being colder, I think right now it's supposed to get down to like, I don't know, 30 something or so, which isn't that bad for the sandals if I'm moving. But if it is going to get colder, I'll wear my Witten trail shoes, whatever they're called, W-H-I-T-I-N. I have a couple reviews for these on the channel. They are not the most beautiful looking shoe, but again, if you're into like barefoot minimalist stuff and you're not ready to go sandal, or it's just a little bit too cold, then the Wittens are absolutely awesome. Again, I just, compared to all the other sneakers I ever bought, I don't understand how these cheap little shoes for 30-something are still holding up. And literally the only place, there's a little, like, such a small amount of separation by that toe, and it's been like that for months. It hasn't increased at all. There's no wear in the fabric, there's no ripping anywhere. The sole is, you can kind of get a sense, I don't know if that picks up in the camera, kind of get a sense that part of the sole is tending to, you know, wear down a little bit flat, but for the amount of time and miles that are on these, that's to be expected. So Witten. All right, let's open her up. That's right. If you've never seen a Mystery Ranch backpack, that's one of the great little features of it. There's no reaching in. You can just open it up like that. All right, if I go with the Wittens, I will then also go with the Darn Tough socks. These are an over the calf, even though on my calves they tend not to stay up, so they will fall down below the calf. And I don't think I need to talk about Darn Tough socks. If you are new to backpacking and you're not familiar with them, check out the brand. These are not budget socks, but at the same time, I mean, again, you can get a sense that they just don't wear and tear. They're great socks. They're a great company. They stand behind their product. Darn Tough. All right. For my shirt, I love this shirt. And I just don't understand how I've never seen, I think there's only like one other review out there in the YouTube world on it. And this was, I think, maybe like the second video I ever did for this channel was on this shirt right here. This is a Vargo infusion shirt. It is infused with titanium. And just, I don't know if it's picked up on the camera. I mean, this is really the only shirt I go backpacking in. It's, I don't know how old it is, maybe like 3 years old or something like that. I also will wear it, you know, for things, you know, if I go running around the house or something like that. So it's got so many hours of wear, and it is absolutely perfectly stain free. Supposedly one of the things with titanium, that the way that it's infused is when it starts hitting the sunlight, it somehow diffuses the stain or whatever like that. And there have been stains in this shirt that are just not there anymore. I don't know how it works, but it's absolutely amazing. It's also super cool, not like super cool, like awesome, but it keeps you cool if you're into that sort of thing. It really will disperse the sweat, and I say that that's more important like in the winter time, you know, or the fall. It will really take that sweat and disperse it and get rid of it for you. So the Vargo titanium shirt, I think it's on a perpetual sale for like 20 bucks. My guess is they don't sell very many, and they made a whole lot of them, and they're just on sale until they get rid of them. I'm also thinking about getting the long sleeve version of this for the winter, because again, I can't recommend it enough. For my shorts, I can't even remember what brand. Oh, these are called, I don't know how you pronounce it, but Baleaf, B-A-L-E-A-F. These are just, you know, cheap online shorts. But again, I've had them for a long time. I cut out the liner of them. This is my go-to if I go running, if I go hiking, if I go backpacking. These are my go-to shorts. My favorite thing, I've never realized I needed this in my life, but the pocket is literally like right directly behind you. So there's no bounce at all with it. It's just perfectly placed. If anybody goes running and you have, you know, those running pants or shorts that have the zipper in your back, you know how it's awesome. So again, just cheap running shorts. You know, there is, you know, a couple little tiny rips that are showing through. But again, for the number of miles that are on these, I have absolutely no complaints whatsoever. So again, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but it's B-A-L-E-A-F. The next thing is I have some, is that the right way? I have some Russell compression shorts, and these really changed my life. I am not the sort of person that would have grown up in a neighborhood where people were wearing spandex. But once I started wearing these, they just are so comfortable to wear hiking. They're so comfortable. Please give it a shot if you haven't tried already. I mean, obviously, if you choose not to go with underwear, I suppose that's maybe even more comfortable. But these are super, they're wicking. If you need to rinse them out on the trail, they're easy to dry. And even if you wake up and they're still wet, you put them on, they dry like that. So Russell compression shorts, again, you can buy some compression shorts that are really expensive. These are just some cheap ones that I found on sale somewhere. Now, here's where it gets a little bit iffy because I'm not exactly sure how cold or hot it's going to be. It's supposed to be like a high of 50, a low of low 30s. So I'm going to probably make a judgment again in the lot at the trailhead when I get there. But I have just a polypropylene shirt. Now, I don't know what brand it is. I've owned this shirt for 30 years. I happen to know it's exactly 30 years because it was purchased for my very first real winter backpacking trip, like sub-zero, that I got invited to, and I didn't really have the proper layering system. And so I remember distinctly buying it for that trip. So it's still in great shape. It's great. It wicks. It's warm. It might not be, you know, again, the lightest thing, but it's pretty darn close to cheap. And I don't feel any need to invest in a new one right now. I have, you know, just the thing for my head, whatever you call that thing. And again, depending on the temperature, I also have hold on one second. I also have more of like a lightweight one. And so again, depending on what the temperature is going to be will depend on which one I bring. But I tend to run hot. And so I've given up on wearing, if it's really cold for winter backpacking, I'll bring a hat. But otherwise, having that ability to have the hole on the top of my head and let a lot steam out is great. And maybe I might wear it first thing in the morning, but it's usually worn at night when I'm sleeping. All right, now this is again, like, I don't know if I'm gonna bring these. So these are my pants. I think the video right before this one, if I post this one on time, I did a review on these pants. I do love these pants. They're Wrangler. This particular one is called Performance Cargo. They made another version that was kind of like this that was called Adventure Series Outdoor something or other. But I love the way that they fit me. I kind of find it really hard to find pants in my size that fit at all. And these fit a little snugger than usual, which doesn't give them the feel of like running pants, but they're not like baggy and loose. It's the material dries out really quick if it happens to rain a little bit, or if you get wet, or if you kind of go through a river and your foot falls in. Not that I would know anything about that. And also they're just, they're lightweight, they're comfortable, and they're budget. So Wrangler Performance Cargo, again, I have a video on these right before this one here. And at this point here, I don't know if I'll be bringing them, but they are an option for me. If I end up not bringing those, what I normally would just have in my pack, just in case the temperature does drop, is I just have a pair of Dickies, a base layer pants. And so it's not something that, you'd walk around town in, but it's something I could wear around the campsite and definitely at night if I just needed that little extra layer. So now I have 2 jackets, and again, depending on the temperature, I'm not sure which one I'm going to bring, or I might just bring both. Part of what I use to make my decision for something like this is I'm not sure whether I plan on hiking a lot all day long and then getting into camp, eating dinner, and basically just going in my hammock, or if I'm gonna end my day early and just kind of like hang out and read or something in the campsite. So if I plan on hanging out, I'm definitely gonna bring both jackets, because if it gets down into the 30s, I'm gonna probably want to layer up if I'm just like hanging out and reading. The alternative is just to go into my hammock. So I'm not sure where I'm gonna go on these. But this jacket right here, so this is a down puffy, and this is something I purchased off of AliExpress for like 25 bucks. It might not be good as a Patagucci jacket, but for 30 bucks, it served me just fine. Again, when you buy something cheaper, you can't expect the same quality, obviously, but for the amount of money I have, this is what I end up with. You can definitely notice some differences. The zipper is definitely a lower quality. Some of the baffles aren't as evenly packed as a higher priced jacket, but it's great for me, and also it's great for a layering if I put it underneath this jacket here. This jacket here is an Outdoor Vitals jacket. I forgot what their name of it is. It might be, I think this is the one that's nicknamed like the $1 million jacket or something like that. I'll tell you that it's kind of like on the website advertised as a winter jacket, and I've seen some other reviews of this jacket where people are pushing it as a winter jacket. You have to be layered up to count this as a winter jacket. So don't think you can buy this and just throw it on when it's like 32 degrees and it will keep you warm. If you're moving, it's great. But if you're just in camp, you're gonna need, again, some other kind of layer to put underneath it. This jacket here, if you happen to look it up, I did not pay the full price. This is one of their first generation jackets that they offered up at a great discount because most of them came with some defect. And the defect is, I don't even know if I can find it quickly. The defect is, and this is, you can't even, you're never going to be able to even see it on the camera. There are some pieces of, this is synthetic. There are some pieces of the insulation that is just poking through the fabric. And so that is the defect. It has a little bit less stuffing than the one that they sell right now. But overall, I don't know if I'd ever pay the full price, but I do really like the jacket. I love the way it fits. I love the size of its pockets. I love that it fits loose or tight around the waist. I know that sounds silly, but it's just, I don't know, it fits me perfectly. I've seen some people complain about the thumb holes. This is literally the first pair of clothing I've ever owned with the thumb holes. I've still never used them, so I'm not going to complain about them. And the other great thing it has about this, if you own anything that has pit zips, is it has really big, ample pit zips that are just super. So I have grown to love this jacket the more I wear it, as I've learned really to, what type of temperatures to wear it in and where it really fits my needs. I'm liking it more and more and more. So Outdoor Vitals, you can look this jacket up right now. They're now on their, I don't know, second or third generation of it, I think. So there's no more defects, and they've changed a few other things for the better. But so far, I love it. I have my socks that I throw on my feet at night. What's kind of funny is I've owned these socks forever. The brand is called Teco. I don't even know if that's a real brand anymore. And these are just like, you know, the fuzzy big socks that I'll throw on my feet when I go into my hammock. You know, if it's cold around camp, I might change out of my Darn Toughs and put these on. But generally, these are just my sleeping socks. And my feet stay nice and toasty, putting on some nice dry socks at night. Again, these are like ancient socks, but I don't know. I'm kind of attached to them. I've been wearing these at night for years and years and years. So I know there are better things probably out there. Well, how much better can it be? These are pretty good. All right, and almost getting to the end. I have two things for sleeping. So this is a Keone shell hammock pod thing. My hammock is inside of this. It's a hummingbird hammock. I don't have a review on the Keone shell. The hummingbird hammock that is inside of here, I think I might have I don't even know if I have a review. I don't think I have a review of that on the channel. But I really love the hummingbird hammock. It is nice and light. I've had no issues with it. I've seen on some other reviews, people have mentioned things they don't like about it. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not a hardcore hammock backpacker to really pick up on those things. But I have zero, I've loved it. You know, anything that can squish down to the size of your fist and that's your sleeping system is okay by me. The Keone shell is not waterproof. It's water resistant, somewhat. I can tell you after having been in a storm, it is definitely not water resistant for a big storm, but for a light rain, it could do okay. It does have the insulated bottom to it that's already attached in the pod. And the other thing it has is it's kind of got that reflective stuff on the inside to keep you warm at night and reflect your heat back. There is, if it is a really rainy kind of day and you have to zipper everything up, you do end up with a little bit of, oh my gosh, I've lost the word, a condensation problem. But otherwise, as long as you can keep some zippers open, you are okay. And for any budget backpacker out there, you've probably have heard of this backpack. I could never remember how to pronounce the darn name, and like every video I've ever done, someone has corrected me. But the Aegeus sleeping bag, it's the lightweight one. You know, it's for, you know, again, it's not a Patagucci, but for the price of like, I don't know, I think I paid $70, $69 for this or something like that. It's a nice backpack. And with my shell could easily go down to like 50 degrees. So now that this weekend it might get close to freezing, I'll throw this in there with me. And generally it's just something I'll kind of throw on top of me as a little extra comfort. And the combination of those two for 30-degree weather normally works out pretty well for me. And last but not least, the extra little things in the top pack. So I carry a Hydro Blue water filter. Yes, there are water filters other than Sawyer out there that look like this. This is pretty old and still working fine. I have some Band-Aids, way too many. I'm gonna get rid of some of those. I have a piece of dental floss. There's nothing worse than getting something stuck in your tooth and being stuck out there somewhere. So I have a piece of dental floss. I have my spoon where I just, come on, even if you don't want to and you don't need to, you have to drill holes into the handle of your spoon. This is a Gossamer Gear bamboo spoon. You know, it's great. I have my Lawson bear bag line. Again, another awesome product. I've got my knife, which is just a razor blade with a piece of duct tape thrown over the blade part. I've got lip gloss for all those of you that are carrying a full-size lip gloss, man. What are you doing? But I am prone to chap lips, so I bring this with me. I've got my little container of hand sanitizer, Twisted Peppermint scented. I've got my lighter. Normally I carry a little bitty lighter, but for whatever reason in this backpack, this one has always been in this backpack and I just never end up taking it out. So a lighter. And of course I have the Holy Hiker backpacking bidet, no toilet paper for me. And I think there's some things in the very top. Oh, I've got my straps for my hammock. I've got the climate seat. And again, this is something I'm gonna bring if I'll spend some time in camp, especially when it's colder. If it's summer, I don't really worry about bringing this, but in the winter, it's nice to sit on this than some cold rock. And my absolute like extra luxury piece of gear that I'm almost embarrassed to admit I bring, but I'm totally getting into it, is I bring my Fire tablet with a movie downloaded, and I sit in that hammock and hang in the winds and watch some really good movie. I always try to do some like outdoor movie. So, you know, like Joe So-and-so backpacking Canyonlands, or right now I downloaded a documentary on the Appalachian Trail. So that is my luxury item that I have started bringing, probably starting in the spring sometime. And I always say I'm not gonna bring it and I grab it at the last second, because I don't know, there's something really relaxing about sitting around the fire and watching a movie or hanging in my hammock. I'm just totally getting into it. All right, there you go. I think that is it. That is everything I'm bringing. So every single thing you just saw me pull out all together weighs 13 pounds. Now again, probably one of the jackets I'm not going to bring. The pants, either I'll be wearing them or I'm not gonna, you know. So when it all comes down, when I weighed them before those extra things, before all the clothes that I'm wearing, the total weight came to about 9 pounds. It's about 450. I'm sure you can go under $500 for all of this stuff. So you don't have to go ritzy to be classy. You can do it budget and have a lot of fun. So that is the fall backpacking loadouts. If you have any questions about the gear, I'm not going to go fancy and throw all things up on the screen with weights and stuff. I believe most of the gear that is here is listed in the description. It does have an Amazon link, and just the warning goes that if you click on one of those Amazon links and buy something, I might earn like a nickel or a quarter, or if you buy like a boat, I might even earn like $1.50 or something, and that would help me pay for my rusted fender on my car that's going to fall off. So if you are going to buy anything, click on one of those links. You're going to buy your kid a new computer, click on one of those links, and then go and find the computer, and I'll get credit for it. All right? All right, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.